Dear artists and music creators, as we step into 2025, I want to share something close to my heart. It's not a trick you'll find in YouTube tutorials, but it can completely transform the music you create. It's not about gear or fancy plugins or whatever fancy advanced production techniques. It's about the state of your mind. You already know that laying down a great take requires a performer to be mentally and emotionally 100% present. Whatever you feel while recording your music, love, joy, or pure flow, or anger, has a huge effect on the sound you get. But were you aware that this concept can be expanded to every aspect of your production? For example, do you know the feeling of frustration when pesky computer issues throw a spanner in the works while tracking? That feeling will too make its mark on the final product. Or have you experienced how tedious it feels to edit drums, like toms and stuff, for hours and hours? Or, for example, time aligning huge stacks of backing vocals, how that drives you up the wall? Again, this feeling will leave its mark on the production. Listeners may not consciously notice it eventually, but they'll feel it subconsciously. When music is created with negative emotions, listeners may sense something isn't quite right, even if they can't put their finger on it. So whatever emotion you and your collaborators are experiencing during the entire process, frustration, joy, stress, hopefully fun, inevitably it will find its way into your music. Your listeners might not know why, but they will feel it. A gut feeling tells them something isn't quite right. So music created joyfully and effortlessly carries a vibe that resonates on a subconscious level, while music born from frustration feels like fighting an uphill battle to the listener too. What can you do to bring more enjoyment to your music production? Well, in today's world, musicians wear more hats than ever before. You do songwriting, arranging, writing lyrics, instrumentation, recording, editing, mixing, mastering. You design your own covers, you edit your videos and shoot them. You publish, you promote and market your music. It's incredible what's possible today. But let's be honest, that's a lot of hats for one person to juggle on their head. My favorite artist, Bob Marley, said, "And who the cap fits, let them wear it." Here's the thing. You don't have to wear all of them. Choose your battles. Trust Robert Nesta's wisdom and don't pick fights you can't win. Wear the hats or caps that fit you well. That means take on the work you're truly good at, the work you genuinely enjoy. For everything else, let somebody else wear those hats. Bring in collaborators, involve professionals, and get specialists to wear the hats that don't fit you. Why? Because music is at its best when you're focused on what matters most: your music, your performance, and your creativity. Spending less time on draining tasks means more energy and enjoy for the parts you love. And the final result will reflect that. With the right people involved, your production will come together effortlessly, of higher quality and also much quicker. And that's what music production bliss should feel like. Let's talk about the tools that you use. The tools and workflows that you use today can also make or break your creative flow. Ask yourself, are you driving your tools or are the tools driving you? This might be a provocative thought, and I intend to ruffle some feathers here. But have you ever fixed something on your computer that you saw on the screen, even though you didn't actually hear it? Be totally honest. It happens more than we'd like to admit. And it has happened to me in the past. That's why I'm sharing this with you today. When you hold a hammer, you see every problem as a nail. That's by Abraham Maslow. So true. A production process dominated by visual cues like DAW editors, plugins, or the Melodynes that we have these days, lots of mouse clicks. This can lead to overthinking and consequently to overfixing when driven by visual cues, which then might result in a flawless technical production where every note is spot on and every drum hit is equally loud. But it can lack the raw emotion and beautiful imperfections that make music so deeply lovable. When you spend less time staring at computer screens and more time truly listening, you create from the heart and the soul, not the rational part of your brain. To paraphrase my friend Eddie, visuals engage your conscious mind. Sound speaks to your subconscious, and I'd like to add, to your heart and to your soul. So here's to 2025, a year where you wear fewer hats, let others share the load, and focus on the part of music that you love most. More performing, less computing. More enjoyment, less frustration. Here at Mix Artist Studio, you can be 100% a musician. Focus entirely on your music and your instruments. That's what I want. And I want you to get lost in enjoying your performance. I'll take care of everything else, like the recording, editing, mixing, and all of that stuff, and even managing your vinyl pressing if that's what you're after. So, let's make 2025 the year your music is full of heart, soul, and joy. Happy 2025, everybody.